Imagine discovering that a Greek philosopher from over 2,000 years ago held the secrets to your financial future. Plato wasn't just thinking about abstract theories. He laid down timeless principles that today's billionaires quietly use to grow their fortunes. What if Plato could teach you how to manage your money better than modern financial advisors? By the end of this video, you'll see exactly why ancient wisdom beats modern trends when it comes to wealth creation. And the final principle might completely change how you think about money. Let's start with Plato's first principle. True wealth comes from self-mastery. Most people think growing wealth means chasing after opportunities. But Plato insisted that real success begins within. What if mastering your impulses and emotions was actually the greatest financial skill you could develop? Imagine if you could stop impulse spending, avoid risky decisions, and consistently make choices that benefit your long-term wealth. This internal control isn't flashy, but it's powerful. But here's the twist. Plato knew something even deeper about mastering yourself, and it's surprisingly simple. It wasn't about strict budgeting or denying yourself pleasures. Instead, Plato believed in aligning your desires with your goals. Ask yourself this: are your current financial habits leading you closer or further away from your true goals? Plato knew that most financial troubles begin not with bad luck or the economy, but with mismatched desires. Fix this alignment, and wealth naturally follows. Now, self-mastery alone isn't enough to create modern financial success. Plato's second principle focuses on knowledge, but not the kind you might think. In today's world, financial knowledge usually means complicated investment strategies or market predictions. But Plato had a very different approach. True financial knowledge comes from recognizing your own ignorance. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But stay with me here, because this ancient paradox is exactly how billionaire investors think today. They never assume they know everything. Instead, they constantly ask questions, challenge their own assumptions, and learn from every mistake. They seek out experts, mentors, and wisdom from history, not just short-term trends. So here's the critical question. Are you confident enough to admit what you don't know about money? Imagine the advantage you'd gain if you adopted this humble approach to financial growth. Instead of being blindsided by market crashes or trendy investments, you'd build a solid foundation of timeless financial wisdom. Your wealth would grow steadily, immune to the panic and hype that ruins most investors. But Plato's next principle might surprise you even more, and it challenges a belief that almost everyone has about money. He claimed that the best financial decisions aren't logical, they're philosophical. That might sound absurd at first. Isn't money all about numbers, logic, and calculation? Well, consider this. Have you ever noticed how emotional most financial decisions really are? Think about people who panic sell when markets crash, or recklessly chase trends out of fear of missing out. Plato understood something crucial here. Money is emotional, and if you want lasting success, you must learn to think philosophically rather than impulsively. Imagine making your financial decisions calmly, clearly, and purposefully, unaffected by panic or greed. Picture yourself investing based on a solid, long-term philosophy, rather than reacting emotionally to every market swing. Can you see how powerful this could be? Now, Plato's fourth principle brings all of this together, and this is the one that billionaires follow closely, yet rarely talk about openly. This hidden principle explains why some people consistently build wealth while others struggle endlessly. But before we unpack that principle, let's tackle an intriguing question. What did Plato himself think about wealth and money? Did he condemn riches or celebrate them? The answer isn't what you'd expect, and it reveals why his ideas still shape modern financial success. Plato never demonized wealth. Instead, he saw it as a resource, a powerful tool that could either elevate or enslave you, depending on your mindset. His real goal wasn't poverty or extreme frugality. Rather, Plato advocated for the wise and purposeful management of wealth. But what does wise and purposeful management really look like in our modern financial landscape? And what is that hidden fourth principle, the secret strategy billionaires quietly use every day to protect and grow their fortunes? We're about to dive into exactly what that is, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Because once you understand this principle, it could forever transform your financial future. The hidden principle Plato believed was crucial to building lasting wealth is something he called moderation. But wait, before you dismiss this as common sense, let's clarify what Plato truly meant by moderation. It wasn't about living small, penny-pinching, or depriving yourself. Plato's idea of moderation was strategic and intentional, deeply connected to purpose and clarity. Picture this: you're faced with a financial decision. Most people either overspend impulsively or cling too tightly to their money out of fear. Plato suggested something else entirely, a deliberate, balanced approach, guided by purpose rather than fear or desire alone. Here's a powerful question Plato would urge you to ask yourself: does this financial decision genuinely align with my core values and goals? The billionaires of today, consciously or unconsciously, embrace this principle constantly. It's precisely why they avoid flashy, short-lived trends and focus instead on investments and decisions that align with their long-term visions. But there's more. Plato believed moderation had another hidden layer, a concept that modern finance rarely addresses: freedom. For Plato, wealth was not an end goal. It was a means to achieve true personal freedom. How different would your financial decisions be if you viewed money primarily as a tool for freedom, rather than simply acquiring more stuff? Imagine making choices that increased your options and freedom: time freedom, location freedom, freedom to pursue passions or help others. Instead of measuring success by the size of your bank account alone, you'd measure it by the freedom your finances provide. How much stress would vanish from your financial life if you prioritized freedom instead of mere accumulation? Now you might wonder, how exactly do you put Plato's powerful principles into action today? Let's make this practical. First, embrace intentional self-control. The next time you're tempted by a flashy purchase or a risky investment, pause and ask yourself, does this truly align with my long-term goals? This simple question can change everything. Second, be honest about your financial knowledge and fill those gaps thoughtfully. If Plato were alive today, he would advise seeking timeless wisdom rather than flashy trends. Study books that billionaires read, find trustworthy mentors, and admit openly when you don't know something. Ironically, embracing your ignorance will make you financially smarter than most people. Third, manage emotions philosophically. Every time you're faced with a financial decision, imagine Plato himself standing beside you, calmly urging you to pause, reflect, and choose wisely, not impulsively. Detach emotions like fear or greed from your decision-making process and replace them with reasoned, purposeful thought. Finally, let moderation guide your choices. Before making any significant financial move, consider whether it increases your freedom, options, and aligns with your deepest values. Wealth accumulation isn't about extremes. It's about balanced, purposeful actions that steadily build your resources and freedom over time. Here's the real magic. When you apply Plato's principles consistently, your financial growth becomes almost automatic. No more panic selling, no chasing trends, no impulsive buying. Just consistent, intentional decisions leading you toward lasting success. Now ask yourself honestly, are you ready to take these ancient, powerful ideas seriously? Because the truth is, modern financial wisdom often leads us astray, chasing trends and quick fixes. Plato offers something far deeper, a timeless strategy that's worked for thousands of years. This is the kind of strategy the world's wealthiest quietly follow. It's not flashy, but it's incredibly effective. It prioritizes self-control, humility, philosophical clarity, and purposeful moderation. This is your blueprint for wealth that lasts. I'm Saul, and if you adopt these timeless principles today, your future self will thank you. It's time to turn ancient wisdom into modern financial success.